So I have here a pair of Avenue suspension trucks. So let's try and get a good look at these. So instead of your standard base plate, they have this sort of coily, springy deal that is, I believe, hardened tool steel. So these trucks here are 8 1/4 wide from tip of axle to tip of axle. These weigh about 20 grams heavier than my Indy 149s, each one of them. They're 55 millimeters tall, like Indies. Also, I want to say thanks to Cliff for sending these out. He's got some Bones hard bushings in here. I'm gonna do some just real basic flat ground for a minute to try and get a feel. Supposedly these are springy and give you more pop. So the pop feels a little more like a Thunder than an Indy, and it does have an extra spring in it when you do your pop tricks, but they do feel really heavy. With the timing for the pop, now I've only tried it a few times here, but you can feel that like you've got to get the timing just right or you actually don't get the springiness and it just feels like a really heavy board. So we can see that odd base plate design. It does have a hollow axle, and apparently these are magnesium. You can only imagine how heavy it would be without it. I think it looks really hideous when looking down this way at it. Like basically my base plate has a hernia. You need to use a wrench to get in here. A skate tool won't fit in there, so that's quite annoying. So here's your pivot. It's welded on in place. And then there's a little rubber bumper underneath here, I guess for when you bottom it out if you're jumping down something. So I've only been skating these for about 20 minutes, and the first and most noticeable thing I found was as soon as you jump on grinds, it's crazy. Like you're literally grinding twice as fast. Now, I'm not sure if it's twice as fast or if it's the fact that you can sense maybe 50% less of the grind. So what this does is it ends up kind of putting a separation between you and the ground. So you've got the ground contacting your wheels, and then you've got this whole part absorbing most of the shock and vibration. So by the time it gets to the deck, which is vibrating on your feet, you actually can't feel most of it. So it's like you're decoupled, like you're separated from at least half of the vibrations of this deck. So rough ground is gonna feel way smoother, grinding feels way smoother, and riding in general seems to be a little bit faster. Now I can't tell if it actually is faster or if it just feels faster because you're feeling less vibration. For a tall truck, they are pretty wheel bitey. So again, a little bit wheel bitey and not a particularly deep carve in them, although not horrible. Like I didn't notice it immediately, and that might have a little bit to do with the fact that they feel so smooth. The base plate has a hard and scratchy feel. It's not soft like aluminum. I mean, it's steel on steel right here. We'll see how it feels on concrete. That base plate doesn't feel good at all. Kingpin clearance doesn't look that good. It doesn't really have much kingpin clearance to speak of, like a mil or two at most, which is basically nothing. So I've got to pre-grind it down. Yeah, no go for kingpin clearance when they're new, but you can work them in. It just takes a bit of time. Now let's go and do some staple flip tricks and see what I can pull off. Now keep in mind, this deck is about 8 3/8. I used to ride this deck with 149 Indies and 50 millimeter wheels, and it was hefty and big and I couldn't throw it around very easily. So I now have heavier trucks, bigger wheels on it, considerably bigger, wider wheels. So let's see how it feels for all my flip tricks. That's no surprise. This deck is over 32 with a 14 3/8 wheelbase, so still a hefty 3-flip for me under any conditions. So I'm actually pleasantly surprised at how quickly I managed to get used to these. So it's not such a shock. I mean, it genuinely feels like quite noticeably different. And I was really skeptical because I've watched their videos and they have some decent riders, but there was nobody that was like really tech. So, you know, they were doing like some hard flips and 360 flips, but like those are the kind of tricks that you could do on a penny board if you wanted, right? Like they're the kind of tricks that don't require, they require power, not like finesse the same way, say like a nollie backside heel flip would or something. I didn't know how these would work, and I also didn't see a lot of other tech stuff, like nothing more than just, you know, crooked grinds and Smith grinds and stuff. So I was very skeptical. I think if you got used to these, like if you genuinely rode these enough to get totally used to them, I don't think you'd want to switch back to other trucks because they feel much more comfortable. They genuinely do give you more pop. So as for the extra weight, I'm actually really surprised. Like I was reading reviews and people were saying, oh, the extra weight doesn't matter because they give the extra pop. And I kind of thought that was not true, but I was surprised to find out how much it actually does compensate for the extra weight. Sounds like a bunch of geese dying. Honestly, these are only 99A. So actually the vibration is increased by the suspension. Probably having some Bones Racing Reds would be a good idea on these to quiet it down, unless you like it. So I haven't ridden these trucks for about a week. Now what I want to do is I want to put some Bones Racing Reds in these wheels and see if I can get rid of some of the rattliness and the shakiness. I'm also going to put some Bones White bushings in because they're not turning enough for my taste. They don't have a deep turn and they are pretty wheel bitey. So I might actually get a lot of wheel bite once I put these in, but we'll see. So let's try these out and see if they're still so squeaky. Nope, they're sliding again and it took away the squeak. So that was a good improvement. So now today I'm gonna do some basic bowl carving because we're here at the big gnarly bowl again. I am terrified of this thing, but I'm gonna jump in it and try and carve around real carefully. And I'm gonna play around on the coping on the little half pipe a little bit. Okay, no, no, and no. A resounding no. Okay, so the first day I tried these, there was definitely some novelty euphoria. Like I was just really enjoying how unique and different they felt. I then only rode them for that one day and went back to my regular setup, which very quickly felt like home. And then as soon as I got back on this today, I was just like, no, like I don't like it. I don't feel connected to the ground. It just doesn't feel like the right setup. And then trying it on transition was like, so here's what I learned about trying these on transition. Well, for starters, I know you old folks are gonna say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I know. But what I noticed was because you feel separated from the ground, because you have that lack of connection, it is exactly the wrong feeling for skating transition. In transition, you want to be right connected to that concrete. And the other thing that I noticed happening is like sometimes when I would get onto the coping to try and do a 50-50 or something, it kind of felt like it wanted to bounce me off. Now, I'm sure some people that ride these a lot could say that it's possible you could get used to them, but I just generally feel like there is no way I want to skate these on transition. So what you saw is the length of what I'm going to try on them. I'm not risking trying other stuff on these because it's just too foreign. I feel too disconnected, and I just feel like I'm going to get injured trying to skate these on transition. The other thing is they do not have a good turn. So because they're sort of soft and squishy, it's deceptive. Like, it's a smooth turn, but it's a very small arc. A lot like the Crux, but a tiny bit smoother feeling. So I was constantly having to kick turn when I thought I was going to be able to get a broad enough carve in that bowl, and that was only from 2 lines. Like, I could tell you, I am just not going to skate these in a bowl. They don't feel safe to me. So the next thing I'm going to try on these is I'm going to try putting them on a small board with small wheels. Starting to get a little crooked grind mark. So speaking of those, let's get into crooked grinds. So one of the things I'm noticing about these trucks is they really do grind extra fast. So if you're doing something simple like a 50-50 where you have your weight centered on your board, this is actually a really good thing. But what I'm noticing is, because I'm used to riding normal trucks where you need to push a bit on a ledge, especially as you're getting ready to exit the ledge. So you're starting to lose your balance a little bit and it's time to exit the ledge and jump off. But what happens on these trucks is you keep your speed. So as you're leaning into your trick, getting ready to pop off a 5-0 or a crooked grind, your board starts to take off on you. So it actually feels really sketchy. So when making the transition to these trucks, that could actually be a fairly dangerous feature. Next, let's get into how they lock in, the pinch. So first off, this ledge that I'm skating right now is actually kind of a difficult ledge to lock in at the best of times. However, what I notice about these, so some people will say, well, the trucks are great because you jump onto the ledge and they absorb your shock and it's easier on your knees. But so what happens is, like, initially they absorb the shock, but because it's a spring, it absorbs the shock and then rebounds. So I noticed that it actually makes it a little bit harder to lock into my grinds. I was having a terribly inconsistent crooked grind on here, like worse than usual, and I didn't even bother trying switch. So next, let's do some slides and then talk about that. So as you can see and hear, the base plate slide is unpredictable at best. Let's take a close look at this thing. So basically, I mean, this is like a piece of hardened tool steel scraping against this smooth concrete ledge. And I just can't get this thing to feel consistent. So things like nose slides were the worst because I seem to come in at like just the wrong angle to catch it on the sharp edge every time. And tail slides were marginally better. Backside tail slides, I was sticking really bad. So I would say, again, highly unpredictable. And if you were, like, say, trying to nose slide or grind like some sort of hubba, that would be super sketchy. Like, just don't even bother, you know? So I would say back to the drawing board for the base plate. You got to get like a plastic slide, like Tensors used to have something, right? Because that was unacceptable by my standards. Like, that alone would be a deal breaker. So as with any critique, there are also some good points, and I want to note that these are amazing on rough ground. So I'm here skating the old Richmond Park, and it feels smooth. I've got these tiny wheels that have got to be like 48s by now, and this park feels totally smooth. I was also riding over sidewalks with deep cracks in them, felt really smooth. I was skating bricks, again, really smooth. So I've got to say, there are some pluses, and I think, like I said earlier, these would make for an amazing cruiser board. So there's a couple more things I want to try. I want to try some feeble grinds, and maybe if I'm feeling into it, I might do a 50-50 on the round rail. And I'm also going to jump down this 5-stair. You guys are going to have to forgive me for not doing a full impact test. It's just not what I do. I don't like jumping down stuff at this age. Gonna try somebody else's deck for direct comparison. So in terms of it absorbing impact, I would say it was marginally better. Like, marginally. I'm not gonna jump down stuff anyways, but here's something to think about, because that's total marketing. How often do you land your tricks? Especially if you're jumping down something big. Are you landing on your deck every single time? Because I would say if you're trying flip tricks or other stuff, you might be 1 out of 10. And so that means 10% of the time you land on your deck and it feels better. So how is that actually going to help you with impact? The answer is not. I mean, most of the time you're landing directly on your feet anyways. So I would say absorbing impact and drops, total marketing. I keep falling off of them and it's feeling kind of sketchy. I'm gonna try one more and then I'm gonna switch to my other deck and see if I'm just incompetent or if the trucks are affecting me. All right, so I'm back to my trusty Thunder 149s and my wheels that are too hard for this ground. So that's enough to convince me it was the trucks. It felt like home as soon as I got back on these. So for whatever reason, whether it's because they're squishy or who knows what, but I was getting on and it just kept wanting to go like that. So I couldn't lock in. So I'm not even gonna try 50/50s on the flat bar because if I wanna do 50/50s and feel comfortable on a flat bar, I'm gonna ride my regular trucks. So I know that's a lot you guys have watched already, but my final words on these trucks. It's been a few weeks and I haven't put them back on my board, and I don't see myself likely to ride them again. The only thing I would personally use these for is for a cruiser board. So they're similar enough to a regular truck that you can still do skateboard tricks, but they're different enough that they threw me off on a lot of tricks. The base plate is a total deal breaker for me because I do a lot of slides and grinds, and this thing just did not slide nicely. They're considerably heavier trucks, they're very strange looking, and they separate me from the ground. So I personally am not interested in continuing to ride these. So on a positive note, what could these be good for? Well, I do think they would be really good on a cruiser board. They'll definitely be really smooth, really quiet. I do also think that there is a legitimate claim that these are going to be easier on the knees. You're going to be getting less vibrations, and the impact in general is going to be a little bit less, which in the long run probably will reduce the wear and tear on your knees, but I personally am not there yet. So I hope you found this review useful. I hope it's taken some of the mystery out of these trucks. I know I certainly really wanted to know what these were like when I first saw them. So anyways, thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video. And sorry it's been so long since I put one of these out. I've just had a lot of work stuff these days.